Wow. It's so good. Hey guys, welcome back to Vegetarian's Guide. I am Jada, and today I'm going to be making my second video in what I call quarantine snacks. So today I'm going to be making some vegan nachos. Nachos is one of my favorite meals to eat in general. I always go to Qdoba and get everything under the sun and put them on the nachos, which is really delicious. The only thing is that theirs is not vegan. So I'm going to recreate it today in my kitchen. I've got some vegan queso. I'm going to be using the Beyond meats right here, and I'm going to make it a good time and really something fun. I hope that you guys are able to recreate this at home. If you do, definitely send me pictures, send me videos, tag me in it, at Vegetarian's Guide, and then at Jada Yassin as well. Shameless plug. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay guys, we're gonna get started with our peppers, onions, and scallions. What you're gonna wanna do is just make sure everything is finely chopped. Now what we're doing here is adding in our olive oil to get started. When you get your olive oil, just make sure that it is the kind for sauteing and grilling. That just makes sure that it could withstand some high temperatures as we cook it. So go ahead, add in your peppers and onions first. We're gonna save the scallions for a little later on just for extra garnish. Now, what I like to do is I like to cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes just so that they can cook first. When they simmer up and start turning a little translucent in terms of the color, that's when we're gonna add in everything else. So here we are adding in the Beyond Crumbles. This is a really great plant-based meat substitute. Now I usually have the Beyond burgers that you can sometimes use and just crumble it up yourself, but these are already pre-crumbled. Just be sure when you're cooking these that you keep an eye on it. I made the mistake one time of overcooking it where it kind of got like too tough and too chewy. Now I'm gonna add in my seasoning. Now I'm adding in sea salt, here some cayenne pepper and some ground cumin. And also what we're gonna add in is some 5-spice powder. Now I'm Caribbean guys, West Indian, so I add a lot of seasoning to all of my food. The beauty of it is that only the salt, everything else doesn't have salt. So that's why I was a little heavy-handed with the sea salt. So we're gonna go ahead, give these a stir, and then add in our scallions as well to cook in the last few minutes. Now, the Beyond doesn't need that much time on the stove, probably about 10 minutes or less. So when you add in all your seasoning, add in all your vegetables, just go ahead, give it a nice stir, and then cover it until it's all done for about another 3 minutes or so. And then once it's all steamed, everything's incorporated, we're just gonna go ahead and take it off of the heat. Let's go ahead and get started on our vegan queso. So the first thing I'm adding in is our can of butter beans, followed by our jalapenos straight in, and then we're gonna do our dry ingredients. So I'm pouring in our nutritional yeast, and then I'm adding in our flour. I am using chickpea flour for this recipe, but you can use any flour that you have at home on hand. And then our seasoning. So I'm gonna put in a pinch of sea salt, and then just a tad of cayenne pepper, and then of course our ground cumin. And of course I'm gonna link everything below so you can see the exact measurements that I put into it. Next, what I'm gonna be doing is squeezing in half of a lemon for additional flavor and to add some acidity. After that, I'm just gonna add in our butter. Now, I personally did not soften the butter, but I definitely suggest you guys leaving your butter out for a little bit just so it could be softened. The beauty of it is everything is gonna be blended together anyway. And then add in your milk. I'm adding in some almond milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you have on hand. And then what we're gonna do, go ahead and put it to blend for about 5 minutes until everything is all smooth. What I didn't show here is I actually added in some mustard. Now, nutritional yeast tends to give an aftertaste, but I find when I add in some mustard, it just really gives some additional flavor and it masks that aftertaste altogether. What we're gonna do now is just add our mixture into a hot saucepan. We're gonna wanna stir it occasionally on medium heat for about 4 or 5 minutes, just so that our cheese sauce is gonna be able to thicken up and form together. And then once it's all done, we're just gonna take it off and we have hot queso. All right guys, now it's time to assemble everything and put everything we just made and our nachos together. So go ahead, grab your favorite chips. I'm just using Tostitos rounds. We'll load those bad boys up and just assemble them prettily on the plate. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna put on is our queso that we just made. So, as you guys saw, I had put it in the saucepan just to get a little hot and cook it. So we're gonna put the queso on there first. Let me try to be careful. So we're just gonna drizzle the queso. One of my favorite parts about nachos in general is that when you put the queso on first, it kind of makes the bottom chips like perfect amount of like crunchy and chewy at the same time. So I'm just gonna layer it on there. Let me know what you guys think about this queso recipe. This is actually my first time making it with beans. I usually use like cashews to make it, or I'll use walnuts. And I'm really a fan of queso in general. Like, I love cheese. So I'm really glad to be able to find a vegan alternative. And yeah, so that way I don't have to like constantly eat all the dairy all the time. All right, that's actually a lot of queso. So what we're gonna put on now is we're gonna go in with the black beans. So these are black beans that I actually made in advance. So I made these yesterday for dinner. So these are my leftover black beans. Essentially what I do is I take the dry black beans, I'll let them boil for a while, I'll throw onions in there, and then season it with some salt, pepper, and cumin. So we're just gonna dab on the black beans. Now the queso and black beans, like literally alone, these are my favorite parts. So we're just gonna spread, ooh, keep thick. So spread out the black beans all over. And since they've been like sitting a little bit, they're not fresh, they're a little thicker, which is fine, that's okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and put in our Beyond meat that we just created and layer those on top. Oh, that looks so good. If you guys haven't tried Beyond, like, I definitely suggest that you try it. And Mother Burger, if you're in New York, Mother Burger makes really great like Beyond Burgers and Impossible Burgers. So I definitely suggest you guys try that out. I'm making a mess. So we're just gonna layer those on top. So I also realized like I don't have any avocados. The last time I went to get avocados, they were like literally $3 for one, so I didn't get them. But typically with this recipe, I would put avocados on there too, and essentially make guacamole. I make really great guacamole, and then it would be perfect, but I don't have it. So it's still gonna be great without it though. And now we're just gonna finish off with some salsa. This is some store-bought salsa, just like the regular Tostitos. So definitely just grab your favorite salsa and then load it up on there. Oh my god, this looks so good. Yum. Okay, and then the last thing I'm gonna add on is just some extra jalapenos right on top to get it in each bite, make it a little bit more spicy. Although these aren't that spicy, they're kind of just more pickly. But still, it adds really good flavor. Me grabbing nothing. Okay. And there we are all done. Alright, you guys, all that's left is for me to try it and dig right in. So I'm gonna get this one because it looks like it has everything all loaded on there. Oh my god. It's so good. Okay, sorry you guys. I'm going in for another bite. All right, guys, these were absolutely phenomenal. Like, they taste amazing. I can't wait to go and dive right into this. If you decide to make it at home, then definitely tag me on Instagram, put me in the comments below, let me know what you thought. If you loved it, if you absolutely hated it, then I still want to know about it. All right, this has been video number 2 in quarantine snacks. And yeah, expect more videos from me. Definitely like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye-bye.